Greetings guys, SoloFrameDancer98 back at it again with another promised video I had. This is Joseph King of Dreams soundtrack. This is Better Than I. And this one is actually a powerful song that really resonated with me as a child when I first saw this. Because I was always wondering why everyone kept on saying to me that they knew better than me. I didn't know if that meant they were just older, so they had more answers, if they had more school, or what, because I think when this movie came out, I was about 13, 14-ish, somewhere around there. But yeah, so when I heard this song, I was like, huh, it's actually a fair message to consider. What don't I know about myself and the world around me? And this song actually caught a lot of that. Yep. And that's true. I mean, we don't know what is the surest road. We always think we do know, but we really don't. Everything's a blind test for us. We literally are walking and making our own stories on our own roads. That's why we don't know if it is the best road for us. Like, you could. Actually, our roads decide us ever since we were young. Like, the minute we could walk and talk and think for ourselves, like as toddlers, we started making our roads. If we were bratty, then that's how people saw us until we proved them wrong as we grew and matured. If we were rambunctious and excitable, that's how people saw us, and some of us keep that, others of us don't. Like, every road begins with when you take your first steps, when you begin to make your own decisions. And as you can see here, his decisions led him to a dungeon, which we'll have to consider. How do we end up to where we are? Always something to consider as we think about hindsight being 2020, as we think back on our past decisions with our new, wiser selves. We can't go back. The road's already been closed to us behind, but we can keep on making a better road in the future. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something we all have to realize. No matter what we say, no matter how much we learn, there is always someone who knows better than us in certain things. You could be the most amazing psychologist ever learned and read all the books, done all the tests, done all the things perfectly. But you don't know, even with all that knowledge, the best way to raise a specific child. You can give general advice. You can give people general understanding. You give people general tips and tricks and understandings about what they need to do to better themselves. But what happens when you meet a child who doesn't meet the usual? Someone knows better than you at that point, because they've raised that child, they've been around that person, they know what they're going through. And even if you're like the most amazing person of, like, say, a football game, like you're the star quarterback, you have all the rewards, you have all these things, but then the minute you're outside your comfort zone, outside of the sport, a lot of people know better than you about how best to cook this, how best to interact with your friends, where the best place to relax is, what you should read in your spare time, what you can do to unwind. Like, it all depends on what you know, but there are people that know better than you, no matter what topic it is. And I'm humble enough to admit that I know there are a lot of people out there who know better than me. I can give you some good tips and advice for certain things, but then there might be someone who has a slightly different take on it, or someone who has a different view of it, or someone who even understands it better than I do. There's always someone better. And God knows better than all of us because He's the one who made our world, who made us, who made these laws and rules for us to discover, for us to understand our world. And He knows better than all of us. And that's something we should take away and understand for ourselves so we can understand that being humble doesn't mean lacking pride. Being humble is accepting what we have so far so we can better ourselves.
This has been a test. I cannot see the reason, but maybe knowing I don't know is part of getting through. I try to do what's best, and faith has made it easy.
Already been a few months for him.
The best thing I can do is put my trust in you, for you know
Mm-hmm.
better than I. You know the way. I've let go the need to know why, for you know better than I saw one cloud and thought it was the sky. I saw a bird and thought that I could follow.
Mm-hmm.
But it was you who taught that bird to fly. If I let you reach me, will you teach me? For you.
Sorry for pausing at that key chorus, but at that point, you have to realize that yes, there are things we think of that are biased towards our views. Like he said, he saw a cloud, thought it was the sky. We could see something and think that that is what it is. Like a mouse, always be a mouse, something you use for a computer. But to a child, it can be something that's a toy. It could be a little car for a sci-fi, something like that. A remote could be something that they could use for like a band. A phone can be something they use for like a small table for dolls or action figures or whatever they want to do. There are ways that we can perceive our world that aren't normal to us, and ways that we need to expand our views too. Because if we see a cloud and think it's the sky, that means our view is too narrow. We can't see past the frame that we've placed around the world. If we open it up and understand, we'll be better for ourselves, and thus better than our old selves. And with teaching the bird to fly, we gotta realize there are things that we can't teach. We can't teach someone how to grow bigger. We can't teach someone how to redesign themselves to be someone better. They have to discover that. Just like God taught birds to fly, fish to swim, predators to hunt, animals to graze and be nurturing. We have to teach ourselves that there are ways that we can learn from around us and not just from other people. We can learn to be calm and slow like an oak when we need to, or fast and raging like a river when we need to rush through things, or angry and ready for a fight or to defend ourselves like a predator, or calm and nurturing when we need to for our family like a sheep or a new dog, like a dog with a new family. It depends on what we need, but we got to realize that there are opportunities for us to learn from around us, that God left cookie crumbs up for us to learn. Ways we see the world, it's all about how we expand that view from that little frame we had to the bigger picture He envisioned for us all. Yep. It's blocked by the other video recommendations, but yeah, that that right there. The tree literally showed his growth as he expanded his understanding. He expanded his own views, how he needs to see the world, how he understands the world around him. Without that understanding, he would still be lost and dark and the tree would still be shriveled up. He wouldn't have thought of a new way to look at things or learn. Without that opening of your mind and understanding and the willingness to learn more, you get stuck. You get trapped in the dark like Joseph was. And as the song progressed and it flashed back, the tree not only grew and the stones piled up and the knowledge that he was gaining and the world around him was expanding as the dirt was, but the brightness came back into his life. That's what we need to do. We need to let the light of God into our lives and help us expand our view, to let us know that there are ways to grow more. God wants us to reach our potential, and our potential won't be more than what we can see unless we grow it more. I hope you guys see that too. This has been another motivational talk based on another wonderful song of message and determination and motivation. And I do hope you guys take away something from this that isn't just preaching. I hope you understand that this is a way for us all to see the world in new light and a way to grow further. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I did. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.